Hey guys, Rochelle here with Amethyst Ascension. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are returning, thank you so much for joining me again. So, I am here today doing the hashtag that, or challenge, the tarot challenge actually, that Papa Squirrel, Brian, over at Papa Squirrel channel, that he created, and it's called Tarot Vlogmas 2021. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to do all of them, but what I am going to do, I'm going to be putting them in, bulk, because I'm lazy and because, work smarter, not harder. I've done these challenges before, and yeah, I'm not doing one every day. So anyways, I'm going to be doing the first 7 prompts. I will be putting a list down below of all of the different prompts. So if you wanted to do it like this, like I am, you can do it like that. If you wanted to do all 31 of them in one, you could. It's all up to you. Just have fun with it. Or pick and choose whatever ones you want. Anywho, so the first question is, what major Arcana card reminds you of the holiday season and why? So I actually picked 2 for this. The Star, of course. And, I look at it as a, you think of like the Star of Bethlehem, right? Or hope and joy, that kind of thing. It can be a time of healing. Sorry, I'm trying to get these in here. So I'm just showing you different decks that, I picked for the Star card. Well, for all of them. I'm using 5 different decks. It is the Smith-Waite Tarot deck, the Centennial Edition in the tin. Tarot of the She. The Lightseer's Mass Market Edition by Chris Ann. Oops. Spirit Keepers Tarot Revelations Edition by Benabel One. And the Dark Mansions Tarot by Taroteca Studio. Okay, so yeah, the Star. I mean, joy to the world, joy, hope. I always think of, around Christmas time. So yeah, the Star card. So that's one of them. I'm also going to not try to spend too much time on each one of these, just because I'm doing 7 of them. The other card is the Hierophant. And there is a reason why it is the Hierophant for me. So like if you see these 2 over here, when I think of Christmas, I also think of traditions. Long held out traditions, family traditions. Some might celebrate different things during this holiday season. So it can be a tradition for any of those, or just your own family traditions that you create, which we also do that. When the kids were little, we would all go and pick each one of us would pick a new bulb every year, ornament that we would put on the tree. That was something special that we started. And we got tired of like the turkey dinners and stuff like that, for Christmas, or ham, which I don't eat ham. So we made it our own. We created our own tradition. So who knows what we might do this year? We might do enchiladas. We might do nachos. Who knows? But that's the thing about the Hierophant card, and why I chose that also is because traditionally we look at, in like the Rider-Waite Smith, this kind of Hierophant, which no, not really. Doesn't really do it for me. But this really does it for me. Like the Elder. How many times at Christmas time do you gather with family and listen to stories that like your grandpa or your uncles or aunts would tell you, and wisdom that you would hear or learn just from listening to them. And for me, the Hierophant is very much about those learning moments where we are the student, because I think in every single situation, we are either the student or the teacher. I can't think of one situation where we're not one of those. So, and I think that can change from person to person or event to event. So that's why I love the Hierophant so much. It can be a yoga guru. It can be a Buddha, right? It can be your mother. It can be your child that you can learn from. That's why I think of also the Hierophant, but also because of changing traditions, allowing your own traditions, starting your own traditions. And for me, the Hierophant, I did not like the traditional meaning. I mean, a little bit. I haven't swayed that much, but I look at it different. I don't look at my Hierophant like this. I look at my Hierophant differently. So I'm making my own tradition. So I think about, that for around the holidays. The second prompt is, what minor arcana card reminds you of the holiday and why? Okay, so I did not pull from a bunch of different decks for this one because I have a whole bunch of different cards for this. 10 of Cups. When we would get together at Christmas time, I have such fond memories of Christmas growing up in a big family. My mom was one of, 7, brothers and sisters by her mom and dad. And then she's got maybe 5 other siblings from my grandpa and his second and third wife. So large family. And then you get their kids together. We had to rent out halls in order to do Christmas. And so it was huge family. Oh my gosh. And it was not tons of presents. It was not, because we would do like where we would draw. Each person would draw one child. So you would get from one person. I wouldn't get from all the aunts and uncles, just because that was just way too much money, right? It wasn't about that. It was about being with family, being together, and just having a really good time. And it always felt like home, So there's the 10 of Cups. Memories. When I think of Christmas, I think of those things. I think of the things that we did together, and the laughing and the joking, and how the women would gather in one area and the men would usually gather in another area, or the kids would go hang out, all the cousins and stuff, we would go hang out or whatever. So it was just very nostalgic. Now, as an adult, I'm always thinking about, am I getting the right present? And that kind of falls in line with that card. Yeah, and kind of this card at Christmas time as well. Well, I mean, kind of for a different reason, but so like when you're on a limited budget and you've got so many people to buy for, and you want to make sure that you're buying them the right things, something that they're going to use, because I'm a very practical person. I like somebody being able to actually like the gift that I give them, and that they can actually use it. It's something that they're going to use, not just another pair of socks, maybe, if they don't want socks, or an ugly Christmas sweater, which those are fun too. I'm just saying, something that somebody's not going to use just because they're trying to give a gift. So I can see major stress and taking on more debt than what you have, putting, on credit cards and stuff in order to buy for everybody that's coming, because you don't want to leave anybody out. Last minute, somebody else shows up, then you feel bad because you didn't get for them. Or it's just also an extremely, as an adult, stressful time. And then we come to this, and this makes me think of Ebenezer Scrooge, you know, and holding on and being a tight ass and, but movies. So yes, there's that movie, but there's also like a a Christmas Story and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and Christmas with is it the Crumps or Santa Claus movies, just stuff like that also at Christmas time. I mean, I don't think my husband has missed since Christmas Story came out, has missed it 1 year. He loves that movie so much. It is like his ultimate favorite Christmas film movie other than Die Hard. Which is so funny. He even wants to go on a vacation one of these years to the actual house. They have set up. And fun fact, my husband's father grew up. It was supposed to be based on like I think Hammond, Indiana, which is where my son was born, but where my husband's father was born also, and back in that time. So it's just, movies and stuff like that. So that kind of card reminded me of that. But also, I know this is a little bit longer, I'm sorry. The giving to other people. Because it is so much easier for me to give than to receive. I don't know, it just feels, and I know that that's my own thing, and I've got to work on that, because as far as like the universe goes, if you don't also accept, you're not, if you're not open to receiving, it like throws your prosperity, mojo off, in my opinion. But I can remember lots of times also growing up when we didn't have tons of stuff because we did not grow up with a whole lot of money. And, most of the time my mom was a single mom working and taking care of me and my sister. But one thing that she always did was every year she would have us pick out one of our toys and we would give it. So it wasn't just my mom buying something for charities. My mom would also have us take something that was ours, maybe even something that we still played with, in order to give it to somebody else that was in need. So it taught us that that whole quality of giving and giving for people that are less fortunate than us. So and that's what I think of here when I see this, people that are in need of help. So, like giving to your shelters, although they tell you they need it year round, not just at Christmas time. That's when everyone is, Christmas and Thanksgiving, that's when they're all donating. So donate all year long if you can, to charities and stuff like that. And I do think of Christmas time as a time for that as well. And then just Ten of Pentacles. I'm grateful for being able to share happy memories with my family in a warm house with good food and good conversation. And so it makes me think of the Ten of Pentacles as well as the Ten of Cups. So I'm sorry, I know that was long, but Christmas has a lot of fond memories for me and a lot of sad memories as well. So there was a whole lot of cards that I associate with this time of year. So what is your favorite card in the deck? This is prompt 3. My favorite card in the deck is, and where did it go? Let me find it here. Let me pause. Okay, here we go. Is the Fool. And the reason I say the Fool, I mean, I aim to be the Fool. That is what I want to be mostly. Not for what somebody might think of as the Fool, somebody that's foolhardy, just jumping off of a cliff. And no, I'm talking about the Fool that you think is somebody that's going through life, he's experiencing. He is the one that takes on every single archetype and every single situation. He is the experiencer. He is the one that is coming down into life, a spirit in a human existence, living and experiencing. And then every time he goes through it, he escalates. So the thing is, you don't know what level of fool you're getting. This fool might be 4 levels up high, that has ascended 4 levels high in that lifetime. So you would look at that as a fool, but no, I don't. I look at the fool as the ultimate experiencer, the one that is a yes man, the one that says, yeah, I want to try that, or yes woman, I want to try that. You know, I'm not always saying I'm going to just jump, but that's the energy that I want to be. Mostly the one that's just out there experiencing. And look at all these tentacles. You know, that is an illusion that the fool is like a clown, or like the fool is like a jester. That's an illusion. He is the most ascended master of all of them, or he or she is. And I love what Benabelwen did with the Spirit Keeper's Tarot. She's got 3 Fool cards: the Initiate, the Seeker, and the Keeper, because there are different levels to that Fool. And you never know which one you're truly getting, right? When somebody is experiencing something, you don't know. So don't judge the Fool. I love the Fool. That is my favorite, because it embodies every single other card at various times. And that's what I want to be, that person that is not thwarted by life as I get older, bitter because of the things that I've experienced. No, I want to be like a child that gets excited and is ready just to say, yeah, I'm going to go for it, right? That's the energy I want to have always, or what I attain for. So it's my favorite card. Sorry, I know I'm windy. All right, so what is your least favorite card in the deck, and why? My least favorite card is the 3 of Swords. Because the 3 of Swords, although I am starting to look at it as like it is also a healing card, you know. And I don't hate any of the cards. None of them, truly. But this is probably the one that I honestly fear the most, because it's just that feeling of loss. And I don't mean loss of material things. I mean loss of your heart. Something that means everything to you, right? A stabbing pain. It could be insignificant. It could be. But it could also be something major, like the loss of a loved one. I mean, look at this one here. Perhaps this person lost their sweetheart, and that was a lock of their hair. Or lost a child, and that was a lock of their hair. So it is probably the card that I fear the most. I have lost loved ones, and it is the worst kind of friggin' pain in the world. Do I think that we... yeah, I don't need to go any further. This is my least favorite. I'm not even going to dig any deeper into that. I'm sure a lot of us are experiencing much of that this year, or have. Number 5. What are your divination challenges? Well, my divination challenges, my first one, honestly, was... I would see, when I came to TarotTube, I would get really down on myself because I felt like I just wasn't learning fast enough. I see all these people, all you beautiful people that are so intelligent, so well learned when it comes to the tarot, so much experience, have read so many books, and you've been doing readings for a long, long time. And I would think, man, I started my journey when I was like 48, when I had just turned 48. Or, no, I was 48. So, well, no, I'm sorry, I was 47, almost 48. But still, and I'm going to be 51 next month. So I don't have a whole lot of time under my belt, just a little over 3 years. And a little bit longer than that with the Oracle, because my first deck was an Oracle. But so I have really come to the conclusion, though, because I feel like I am a really good reader. I feel like one of my problems is that I see too many things because I have lived so much. I have experienced so much at my age already, and been through hardships, been through loss, been through, loss of everything, losing my home, losing my vehicles, loss of family members, and the kind of stuff that makes somebody, I guess, a more well-rounded reader, because they can put themselves in the cards. That's their experience. And you know what? As far as even learning other things, even though I've only been learning the tarot for little over 3 years, the shadow work, the spirituality and all that, that's been a lifelong journey. So the religion part, that's been a lifelong journey. So that was one of the things that I used to feel was like a challenge for me, that I had so much to catch up with, and I don't feel like that. I don't feel that way anymore. The second thing that I would say is the Seven of Cups. When I see the cards, I am still coming to grips with all the different things that I see in the cards. In one card I can see, or like when you lay out 3 cards, I can see so many different stories that unfold themselves to me. And probably because I can see like movie scenes, or I'll hear a song that goes off, or I'll get mixed messages sometimes, and it's hard for me to focus. So the challenge for me has been learning how to use spreads, or learning certain routines that I do that help me to focus that into one area. So that has been, I think, my biggest challenge, is just channeling where to put, how I can focus. And the best way I can do that right now at this point in my development is through like spreads and stuff. So which cards, prompt number 6, what card best represents your spirituality? Yeah, currently. And I have 3 cards. So one is the Wheel of Fortune, Wheel of Life, the Wheel, whatever you want to call it. And the reason why is because I very much believe that we create our realities by our thoughts. And I do believe in fate, but I also believe in choice. Let me explain that a little bit. I believe that we do map out our lives beforehand, and we make soul contracts with people in order to come into our lives. And the big stuff is more or less fated because that is what we put into it, like our destiny, like history, his story or her story. So I think that we are doing the big stuff. But the choices that we make during that lifetime are going to help dictate how easy you get to that point. You know what I mean? Whether or not there's major friction, or whether or not you're just going with the flow and you're listening to your intuition and your guides that are guiding you along, and your dreams and all that. But the choices that we make, not the chances we take. One of my favorite sayings, determines our destiny. So kind of believe in both. And that's how I believe in both. So Wheel of Fortune, the only constant thing in life is that it's always changing and growing. And if it's not, you're not doing something right, as far as I'm concerned. So the next one for my spirituality is, I believe that it's so important, and the reason that we're here is to learn, know thyself. And so I do that through constant shadow work. I do that through past life work. I do that through astrology. I do that through introspection and tarot and just paying attention, looking at my patterns. Why do I do those things? I just dig deeper. So I think that, and hermiting myself, and I am hermiting right now and feeling that need to hermit. I mean, it's different when I'm doing this and then it's just, I'm not out in big crowds. Big crowds just make me uneasy. And so even before this happened, before the pandemic and all that. So I believe in introspection and knowing thyself and being mindful, because what you put out there is dictating also what your reality is. And then the other part of my spirituality is the High Priestess. And that is something that I'm telling you, I trust my instincts. I know things sometimes and I don't know how I know them. I know usually when someone's going to call me. I know when someone's thinking about me and then calls me. I know what's going to happen at the end of movies. Sometimes I know what's going to happen the next day because I dreamt it. You know what I mean? Or I know I see things that unfold from my dreams. I don't always understand. That's why I write it all down. But when I know, and I don't always know how I know, but I trust in my instincts, because that's why I believe that we get the synchronicities, why we get the signs, and why we get spirit confirmation, is so that we know, yes, trust yourself. You are getting the information, so just trust in that. And I think we all have that ability, strong ability, when we really, really stop second guessing ourselves and just friggin' going with it. So I think that's a huge part of it. I think we're all being fed certain things, whether we realize it or not. And that also helps dictate, you know, the choices that we make. Or when we come into having major problems in our life because we didn't listen to our instincts. And the last thing, share a spread. This is day 7, prompt 7. Share a spread that you love and why. So because this is already longer, I'm thinking, yeah, see, 27 minutes, I apologize. I'm only going to show it to you. I'm not going to do it because I've been windy today. So I think this is a great spread. The first one has to do with your ego. The second level has to do with your soul. And the third level has to do with yourself. I got this out of the 365 days of tarot, I believe. But the first one is the innocent. What makes me happy? The next, these are archetypes. The next one is the orphan. How do I connect with others? The third one is the hero. How do I prove myself? The fourth one is the caregiver. How do I care for others? Then the next level, on the soul level, is the explorer. How do I expand? The rebel. How do I change what doesn't work? 7, the lover. How do I experience intimacy? 8, the creator. What is my vision? 9, the jester. This is on the self level. How do I have fun? 10, the sage. What is my truth? 11, the magician. How do I make dreams come true? And 12, the ruler. Where should I exercise control? I absolutely love this. So thank you so much for joining me. As I said, I'm sorry, that's Oliver. He wants mommy to let him downstairs. I don't know how many of these I'm going to do. I will be putting a link to Pappa Squirrel's actual original link for this. And I will be putting all of the prompts down below. I have watched some of these. I cannot guarantee that I can go through and watch everybody's that's doing these, just because I can't put that pressure on myself, because a lot of people are doing them. But I'm going to do my best to watch what I can, and it might be sporadic, but I still love it. Or if I'm not commenting, that doesn't mean I'm still not watching. But thank you for spending this time with me, and I am sending you love always. Thank you so much.